The Farm Bill safety net certainly is an important factor for farmers. We talked about that last week. Go on our website and watch that now. Now we continue with part 2 of our discussion, looking at crop insurance. Crop insurance, it's been, I think, politically popular. Direct payments, that went the wayside. Producers have some skin in the game. Do you think that the political will is there to generally protect crop insurance to a certain extent?
You know, crop insurance has become the foundation of the safety net. For all the focus on Title I commodity programs, crop insurance has become the biggest part of the safety net for producers and the one that everybody has said, please do no harm. Don't expect, the House bill did not coming out of committee, and don't expect a Senate bill in committee to substantially alter crop insurance, but rather to maintain it and strengthen it. In both chambers on the floor, we could see a substantial debate yet to be carried out. Still could see a fight on the floor over potential crop insurance changes, which mean cuts and potential reductions in support under crop insurance. That's where one of the battles will be. On the conservation side, we should also mention perhaps a difference of opinion between what direction conservation should go, particularly with CRP, and the fight over should CRP stay at its present size or should it grow? Sure. With lower prices, we clearly have some interest amongst producers and landowners in growing the CRP. One way to grow the CRP within a budget constraint is to lower the payment rate. That may still attract in the acres, but at a smaller payment rate and effectively the same money on more acres. The working lands programs between EQIP and CSP, we saw that the House has effectively consolidated the functions of the two. Cost share assistance for adopting new practices under EQIP, stewardship payments for maintaining good practices under CSP would both become part of an EQIP program with a little bit less total dollars. We'll see what the Senate version of the legislation looks like. That may be where the CRP or the CSP champions reside, but we'll see how they fare.
All right, well, thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
After a slow start, planting is back on track in Nebraska. According to the latest USDA report, 42% of corn has been planted. That's just slightly behind last year and right about the same as the 5-year average. 2 weeks ago, just 2% of the corn had been planted. Farmers credited GPS-guided systems for allowing them to put in the hours in the field to catch up. Even with some recent rains, drought continues to be a factor for many. NTV's Alex Whitney has a closer look.
Definitely, we've started later than what we would have liked to. We were kind of shooting for that April 15th, even maybe a little before that.
It's warming up now, but a cold spell caused delays for farmers like Lance Atwater. The USDA says 17% of corn has been planted this year compared to 32% at the same time last year. As Lance helps his father configure settings on his planter, extension educators say technology like that helps farmers catch up.
And there's been some spotty rains this week that puts a few guys out of the field, but a lot of guys have continued to go. And like you say, with the size of equipment we have today, we can get planted quickly.
With our technology nowadays, we're able to put in longer hours just because of GPS. And a lot of our equipment's a lot bigger than what we would have had probably 20 years ago.
While the new equipment is helpful, Lance says there's only so much farmers can do to overcome Mother Nature. And the unseasonably cool and dry spring the area has had this year, that puts farmers weeks behind schedule.
Yes, it's a concern. We've got good rain last fall when we were trying to get harvest done, which is looking like a good thing now in the non-irrigated areas, but there are certainly been very low rainfall here in April, and March, I guess, was about average, but it's certainly dry and been cold.
Last year at this time, Nebraska was 95% drought-free. Now, an area that stretches from McCook to north of Omaha is abnormally dry. And not far from where Lance farms, there are pockets of moderate drought. While the weather hasn't been doing them any favors, Lance and other Nebraska farmers understand they will have to work through the uncooperative weather and hope for the best.
It'd be great if we could get this crop in and then hopefully catch rains here on through the rest of summer into early fall. But we definitely are kind of in a dry spot, and we could definitely use moisture here coming sooner than later.
Now let's take a look at the results of our question of the week. We wanted to know how much progress you've made with planting this season. You can see the results there on your screen. Abused livestock find new homes. We'll have that story when we return. Weather is up next.